The topic I chose was cardiovascular health in regards to like gut health and how they are similar and how they have effects on things like inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and cholesterol, high blood pressure, anything with hypertension, just how it all relates to one another. So I have a list of questions that I'm going to ask you. For one, I'm going to ask you about your background. So can you tell me a little bit about your background and what led you to your current role?
Basically, I grew up in Michigan. My father was a PhD in chemistry. I always had an interest in helping people, and also to serve was the biggest need. And then with cardiology, I always enjoyed sports. I always enjoyed the fact that the heart truly is the most important organ. And then from there, it followed my passion of being in sports, and also, as you can see, not attaining fitness, but on my way there.
Yes,
one
sir.
of these days.
We're all working towards it. Every day is a new challenge for sure.
Well, I'm doing like almost a carnivore diet. I'm starting 1 month.
Oh, with the steak and the eggs and all that.
I'm not gonna do steak. I'm gonna do more chicken, egg whites, and a lot of vegetables. But I'm gonna try to eliminate sugar and carbs.
Yeah. Well, my next question for you is, what do you find most rewarding about your work in cardiology and or research, if you have worked in research?
Okay. With regards to research, I have not done it since I've been in fellowship, which was 20 some odd years ago. Research was not as rewarding as the clinicals. I enjoy two aspects of cardiology. One is preventative cardiology, where you can make a difference before something bad happens and really help minimize or mitigate risk of heart disease, risk of blood pressure, strokes, vascular disease in the legs. And then there's a different part of it, which is not preventative but curative. If somebody comes in with a heart attack or somebody comes in with heart failure, you can make an immediate impact and life-saving measures. So there's two aspects. One is preventative and one is curative. So, both have their own risk and rewards. And just to get to know the patients, get to deal with different parts of their personality and work within their parameters of their, shortcomings and their strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, sir. Well, my next question for you is, how does gut health specifically impact cardiovascular health?
Well, as we can see with the new GLP-1s, be it Ozempic or Manjaro, reduction in caloric intake is the key to reducing cardiovascular disease, because weight loss seems to be a huge impact, both in reduction in weight, risk of diabetes, hypertension, and inflammation. Gut health, absolutely. Sugars are a killer. That is the key component to causing inflammation, both at the level of organs and both at the level of, in cardiology, at the endothelial level, where you have inflammation in your arteries, which leads to cholesterol deposition and plaque instability, which leads to a plaque rupture, forming a clot, and then that leads to a heart attack. So gut health has a lot to do with it, and certainly processed foods, high fructose corn syrup, and starches have been absolutely paramount in increasing risk of heart disease.
For my next question, have you seen any patients who improve their gut health through gut-focused dietary medical interventions in regards to cardiovascular health?
100%. There's several books that are written. Dr. Dean Ornish, Ornish, who wrote Reversing Heart Disease, which basically looks into a plant-based diet and reduction in sugars and carbohydrates, has made a huge impact. And reducing your gut health, improving your gut health, has certainly impacted hypertension, diabetes, which are the two cholesterol, which are the three cornerstones of heart disease. So if you can work on those, you go a long way. It's because those are the building blocks for heart attack and strokes. So it has made a massive improvement. And patients have been able to reduce their risk or mitigate the risk of a recurrent event even after they've had a heart attack by certainly improving their dietary and improving their gut health.
Yes, sir. And then another question I would like to ask is, what advice would you give to young adults who want to prevent heart disease through their gut health?
What advice? Stay away from red meats. Stay away from processed foods. Stay away from processed meats for sure. A lot of things that we assume are healthy, like even if we eat smoked turkey or barbecue, these certainly are problematic, both risk from cardiovascular standpoint as well as risk of cancer. So I think going back to what was your original question just now, Riley?
What advice would you give to young adults who want to prevent heart disease through gut health?
Well, try to eat things that have minimal ingredients. The more ingredients that you have, packaged foods, whether you get Oreos or you get chips or sodas, anything that has a tremendous amount of ingredients are probably things that you should avoid. Try to eat like your ancestors, where you ate nuts, berries, fruit, and meats that are not processed or smoked.
Okay. And then for career advice and future outlook, I have two questions. The first one, if someone is interested in a career in cardiology or medical research, specifically cardiology though, what advice would you give them?
First of all, it's going into it, develop a passion for whatever you're doing, regardless whether it's cardiology or other forms of medicine. Have a passion for it, because you are going to spend a tremendous amount of time getting to that point and also working day to day as you become a cardiologist. I think that the most important thing is finding a passion for cardiovascular disease, and then the most important thing is getting to a point where you enjoy your patients, enjoy your work, enjoy that it's a privilege, and take solace in the fact that this is, you get to help people, and it's a privilege.
Yes, sir. And then finally, what skills do you think are most important for someone pursuing a career in this field?
Besides the obvious academic,
yes, sir.
I think compassion for patients is very, very important. I think looking at what you do day to day, you have to understand people come from different walks of life. Not everybody has the financial means, the background to make a difference, but be able to, relate to people, and that's very important.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me so I can interview you on this topic. You have made me fall in love with cardiology, and I just wanted to get all my information directly from you. So thank you for taking the time out of your morning to meet with me.
You're